Welcome to Bad Witch Babbles, the show where we chat with magical folks about all things dark, dreamy, and a little bit spooky. From authors to dancers and everyone in between, let's babble. Hey everybody, welcome to Bad Witch Babbles. I am here yet again with Polly Poison.
Yay! Oh.
Yay!
Oh, my battery's
No.
dead. But it's okay. I have my
Chainsaw
chainsaw noises, and I bedazzled it.
Yes.
Okay.
If you guys didn't know, Polly Poison is also Chainsaw Pinup on all social media. She is the Chainsaw Pinup, and we are here to talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
Yay!
The hot topic of this summer, because if you live in Orlando, once the 4th of July passes, it's spooky season.
It's Halloween now. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. The last time you were on here, the setup was so different. We have different microphones. It's so exciting. There's cat hair all over these microphones. Glad you're not allergic.
We have been blessed. It's okay.
Yes. We have Scareactor stories that we will be sharing today. And then we're going to be talking about performers too. Like,
Yeah, that's a
do's
good
and
idea.
don'ts for performers.
And auditioning, maybe?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Let's get into that
Actually,
too.
the auditions might be a little different now, but either way.
You're so right. Well, we both are scare actors. I was a scare actor for 2 years at Halloween Horror Nights. And then for you, how many years? Like a lot, right?
Okay, so I've been working at the company 13 years, Horror Nights 6 years, so like half of that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
But been going as a guest since like 2012.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I
I love
know.
the event.
I'm such a fangirl for the event. Like,
Me too.
I went when I was 17 for the first time, and I was just like
wow.
obsessed. And I never thought I was going to get to be a scare actor.
Yeah.
I never thought. I auditioned, didn't get it. My twin sister did.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And
Wait, that doesn't even make sense.
I know, but I know. But I
Wow.
was a Disney princess, and she wasn't.
Oh,
so it was
okay.
weird because she was doing the haunt stuff with Universal Studios, and then I was doing the princess thing with Disney, and we were like, why didn't this? Very strange.
And now you've like switched opposite
I
personalities.
know, I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
I know, but luckily when I got older, I had the experience of 2 years, one in a house and then one on the streets. And then you've
Okay.
done pretty much everything, right?
A lot of chainsaws, hence the name. I've been in quite a few houses, but I prefer the streets, and I think that's
I prefer the streets.
I'm a girl of the streets. I think, like, in my opinion, guests love the houses more. They go there for the houses, but the streets just elevate the event so much. As an actor, I find most actors like being in the streets better because you get to explore, there's more space.
And you get your picture.
And you get nice pictures.
'Cause
Yes.
you do not. It's so rare that you get photos of yourself performing
Yeah.
in the houses. I have a few
Yeah.
crappy screenshots from people in the media, like the media people, their walkthroughs. I was like, oh, that's me. I took a
Yeah.
screenshot. Those are the only photos I have.
Yeah, in motion, or
Yes.
actually videos in the house are really cool, but they're very rare. It'll be
Right. From
official
media.
media or people sneaking it, which don't do that. I love the streets, although I have met people who prefer the houses because they know exactly what they're doing. It's kind of the same each time. It's a little repetitive, so you can guarantee there will be a scare, whereas in the streets, sometimes you may not always get a scare.
Yeah.
And that can be frustrating, and that can be annoying when people, come back at you and start laughing or have a different reaction. You probably know the teenagers are the worst.
They are the worst.
Yes.
In the streets and in the houses, teenagers are always the worst. I don't know if it's all the hormones charging or what, or they just are trying to be cool in front of their friends, which is probably hormonal as well.
True.
They're just the worst at that event. Like, I feel like it should be an 18 and up event sometimes. You know what I mean?
I agree. Although sometimes I have met younger kids that go to the event and they love it and they're all
so
about it,
true.
and they grow up loving horror and going to the conventions. So sometimes I'm in favor of the age limit, sometimes I'm not. We do actually have a little listener. I hope she'll listen to this podcast. I'm going to share it with her. But she's a big fan of the Chainsaws. Her name is Petra. She's younger. She's getting into acting.
Oh my god!
And she has her own little chainsaw. She visits the chainsaw hordes every time. So
Hi Petra.
Hi Petra. Shout out. So people like that. That's where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what this event is all about.
We need an approval process for kids under 18.
Yes.
There's a panel. I'm on the panel. You're on the panel.
Yeah. Are you responsible?
Yeah. Are you going to be a total jerk? No? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I definitely preferred because of, my theater soul. I liked being on the street because I felt like I actually got to act and perform. But I liked being in the house because I have asthma and I needed a little water break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes I would hit my trigger, go out, do my little scare, and then tuck in and drink some water and take a minute and go. If you're like, what is she talking about? If you're in a house, sometimes you have a boo hole that you pop out of.
I love that term.
Oh, yeah.
Boo hole.
And I was Cordelia in American Horror Story, HHN 27, iconic.
Which I was your backup one night.
Know,
that was so, we were like ships passing in the night.
So funny. The boo hole thing is like what you jump out of. And I'm the worst scare actor because I have asthma, and so I was sick all season. So I had my little lemon water and my cough drops and my water and my tissues, and I would do my scare and blow my nose or whatever. Obviously, this was pre-COVID times because I don't think that would fly nowadays. All the fluid, me blowing my nose and then coming out for a scare. Blowing my nose. That's so
blowing it on everybody.
That's a scare. But we didn't talk specifically about our roles. So since mine are short, I'll go first because it's not going to take very long. It's 2 roles. I was Cordelia in American Horror Story, like I said before, my favorite girl. When I saw that on my schedule, when the names, when you have a fitting, sometimes you see the actual name of the character, or sometimes it's code names. Mine said Cordelia, and I was losing my mind. I'm like, no way.
God.
No, she's my favorite.
And that was during Coven season, right?
I was so excited because she's my favorite. And when I auditioned, I was like, oh my gosh, I think they're going to do American Horror Story again. If they do Coven, it would be so cool if I was Cordelia. And then I was. So it was I kind of thought it into existence. I manifested it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was such a treasured memory because she's so iconic, and it was the scene where she gets the acid thrown in her face, so I had the acid burns.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you know what? I was the room just before you, I think, with the theremin.
Yes. You were the Myrtle.
Okay. Myrtle.
No, is that her name? Myrtle?
Yes. I think you're right. Oh my gosh.
Red hair.
Wow, it's been a long time, but yeah.
That was a long time ago. But
so cool.
Yeah, I love that house. I had whiteout contacts, which we'll talk about later.
Oh gosh, wow.
I came out and I was like, and then I would go back in, come back in, blow my nose, whatever.
And your trigger was a scream, so you didn't have to scream.
No,
luckily, thank goodness. Love that.
Yes. And then the second year, I actually had to tap out early because of my asthma, and it broke my heart. I cried.
No.
My last day, I cried because I was like, I don't want to leave this event, but I'm so sick from the fog machines. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I was using my real voice, so I lost my voice completely.
Yeah.
I was coughing. I was throwing up. It was to the point where I'm like, I can't keep doing this event. Broke my heart into pieces.
Yeah.
Into pieces. But I had to do it. But that was the most fun I think I've ever had because I was the virgin. My schedule said virgin for the fitting. And I was like, what the hell? Am I getting sacrificed? What's happening? I know. It literally said that. Virgin.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with that. That's hilarious.
But the character's name, the lore, it was Twisted Traditions. Her name is Mindy, and it was the nerdy girl, big glasses, kind of like an 80s
80s hair
dress, 80s hair, white tights, kind of nerdy.
I loved that.
Yes.
That was a good look for you too.
Thank you. I'll put the picture in here. But I went crazy. I screamed. I was crying. I was like, really getting into it, but to the point where I was like killing myself. Those were my 2 roles. Mindy was So much fun. I think more fun than Cordelia, but Cordelia was so special.
It is cool when you get kind of an IP character, because now, first of all, you have something to go off of, and then people recognize, but it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
But then when you get an original character, which I think sometimes is like the highlight of HHN for me, and especially the lore. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of lore in Carey, Ohio, where a lot of these houses take place and are set. We could have a whole podcast on the lore alone.
Maybe we should. Let's do it. So those are my two, short and sweet. Tell me about yours, the long list.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to preface by saying my HHN journey was very unique, and I think I got very lucky. A lot. I'm going to admit that. It's not all talent. I think I got very lucky. A part of my luck is my height, because I'm 5'2". I'm a shorty. And I feel like at this event, and this kind of goes into casting, a lot of people, or casting at least, is looking for short people or really tall people for roles. If you're in the middle, it can be kind of here or there. It can be a little dicey. Yeah.
Yep.
5'4", right? Yeah. Okay, so that range, it can be a little harder, but because when you're shorter, you could do younger roles, you could do like creepy on the ground type roles. So, okay, so favorite roles, I have so many. I wrote down all of them. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But favorite role ever, and this was, well, you know what? I'm going to start by saying most years I was cast as fire crew. Okay, fire crew, fire emoji.
I could never be that cool, but like, it's so cool. It's so cool.
And I'll explain what that is. Fire crew, just like the name sounds, basically we're going in to kind of save the day when people call out, when they're sick, when they're not there, when they don't show up. So essentially we're kind of like an understudy type role, but we are cast every single night. We get to be seen first by casting every night, and they put us in a different role usually every night. So I got very lucky with that. So I am just so grateful for that experience. One of the casting directors now actually is very big in, they do their own performances. They sometimes perform at drag shows. They're amazing. Billy, I don't know.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. So shout out Billy. But yeah, so a lot of these casting directors, just a side note, are also performers. So that's kind of really cool when you're a performer yourself. They can put themselves in your shoes. So Billy pulled me aside one day and he was like, hey, would you be willing to be the rat lady's backup? And I was like, oh my gosh, because I had seen the rat lady one year. And actually, I think I was going since 2010, not 2012. So if she was there that year, I saw her one year.
Amazing.
She is in the glass coffin with live rats.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's so creepy, but it is like a dream role. So the rats are crawling all over you. I was the backup one night. When the full-time rat lady who is there usually every year, she's fantastic. She was going to Spooky Empire, ironically, that night. So that's when I got pulled in. Before I got to do that role, I had to get a tetanus shot. So that was interesting, kind of scary. So I think I'm still good. But a tetanus shot, then you go to hair and makeup. The rat lady's look is like bites everywhere. She almost looks like a corpse. But she also has kind of a fortune teller type of look. So she has like a scarf and like loose, kind of like this, like loose, flowy type shirts. And so they put you in the glass coffin, live rats. Then they take all the rats from their little enclosure and they just kind of let them pour in on you. And that was the coolest experience. I love rats, like always have. They're cute, and they're actually very clean. They are social creatures. They're smart. So it was really cool. And the funniest thing about that role is there was an A and B cast of rats.
No way.
Yeah. So at HHN, usually there's like A through D cast, A, B, C. I don't remember.
I feel like for me, we just had like two for the houses on the streets when I did it. So it was A and B.
Okay, so A and B cast for actors. So I was cracking up when I heard that the rats also had cast A and B. These are true animal actors. And they were actually from the Animal Actors show, too.
Really?
So they're pampered, they're professionals. But I think, if I can remember correctly, cast A was like really calm, sweet, docile. And a hard part of the role was having to like bang on the glass to make the rats scurry, because I love them so much I didn't want to like scare them, but that was a part of it. And then cast B, so cast A was gentle and docile. They were all the female rats. Cast B was all the male rats. And they were fighting with each other, like fighting like just above my head, fighting on me, biting, all of that.
Oh my God.
So that was where it got like a little scary, where I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna like seriously bite me or something? They didn't. And you're covered head to toe. But that was such a cool thing, working with animal actors, and such an iconic role, because she is an icon in the lore of HHN, or in my heart, she's an icon. In that same street was another one of my favorite roles ever, which is also an icon because it was the HHN icon street during HHN 25. So you had the Rat Lady, you have all of the icons of HHN. That was just an epic street. Yeah. But another role I got to play on that street as a backup, because I was fire crew, was Cindy Kane. So that was such a cool role. She also had a chainsaw that year, so perfect. And that's a really fun role because she's a child. She's demented. She's kind of silly though. And she is the daughter of the Caretaker. So we have an icon, the Caretaker, another iconic role. And Cindy Kane was supposed to have her own icon year, but it got scrapped. So she's kind of a rare character if you think about it. And she has this locket and kind of like a school Wednesday Addams type outfit. So I got to do that twice. That was really cool. But the first night that a lot of the photographers came and got pictures of me, the pictures were really cool. It was such a great night, but I didn't have the locket that night.
No.
So in all the pictures of me, you'll see no locket. And then the next night, nobody really came to take pictures. But I did get to wear the locket one night. I don't know if it broke or just wasn't included in costuming, but
Somebody forgot.
But still, so epic. So HHN 25 held some of my favorite roles ever. Another role from that year was during All Night Die-In. So it was, cast A was like modern, I think it was cast A. Who knows? Cast A was like modern horror movies.
I'm trying to remember this one.
And then cast B was like the black and white classic Universal monsters.
Yeah.
That's a really fun street. So another favorite role that year, and this is really funny because it goes into licensing and IP. She was called on paper Possessed Girl.
No.
Yeah.
It was.
But what she really was Reagan from The Exorcist. So Possessed girl. And maybe they called it that because I had blonde hair. She didn't have a wig for that role. So I was Possessed Girl for the night, but I had pea soup running down my front and wearing pajamas and like mimicking like I'm throwing up. So it's implied. We know what character that was. But that's one where my throat really hurt afterwards from doing the like throw up noises and stuff. So that's probably the role that hurt my voice the most. But iconic nonetheless. We all love that movie. Let me see.
You've done so many being a fire crew.
Yes.
It's like, how do you even remember?
Yeah.
We need a spreadsheet.
We really do. And not to mention, I haven't mentioned any chainsaw roles.
Right.
So I think I've done a total of 6 different chainsaw roles. Almost all of the hordes, the chainsaw hordes with a D.
Thank you.
Yeah. Roaming hordes. So those would include, obviously, the chainsaw cheerleaders, Cheersaws. Yeah.
My favorite.
That was Chance's year. I thought that was just genius to have, like, an event just fueled with girl power. So love that chainsaw role. Very fun. Very Lollipop Chainsaw-esque.
What a game.
Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah, so fun. That was actually, the casting director was like, I want you to think Lollipop Chainsaw, bratty, blah, blah, blah. So we were like doing the loser sign a lot and that kind of thing. So very fun. Also, some of the chainsaws were bedazzled. So love that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so you.
Actually, I didn't have a bedazzled one. I was so mad. What the heck? I have my own right here.
Right.
So, yeah. But other chainsaw roles would include hillbilly chainsaws. They're super goofy and fun too.
I bet you ate that.
I loved that. I was definitely the smallest one, so they called me like little sister or something.
Hey
Come on,
there,
little sister. Yeah. And weirdly, we were in the Transformers area. I thought that was kind of funny because like technology, robots, and hillbillies.
That's bizarre.
Sometimes the streets are really organized, really funny. But so that I was Chainsaw Purge, like the Nightgown Girl, which was cool. I did love those movies. Scareactor, so that's one from the Carey, Ohio lore. So, and actually that ties into the cheerleaders too. Okay, so I'm gonna nerd out. And also just as an actor, it's really fun to have like lore embedded into your character so you can kind of connect the dots. But Scareactor, that was an insane asylum, essentially, that was placed in Carey, Ohio. Much like Stephen King, how he has his own, a lot of his stories take place in the city that he was born in or lived in Maine. HHN, a lot of the stories take place in Carey, Ohio. So that insane asylum, people broke out, they escaped, and the lore that connects them to the cheerleaders is... many believe the cheerleaders were from that asylum and they killed the cheerleading team, took their uniforms, and they bedazzled their chainsaws for fun and became that character. So a fun story is on team member preview, our costumes, it didn't say HHN, as you'll see a lot of the cheerleaders pictured with. It said CHS, Carey High School. Oh. We had to change it. I don't know if I should go into the reasons why, but casting changed it to HHN. But that's how they connected to Carey, Ohio.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I love that lore. I think that made my cheerleader a little more unhinged, and it made it more fun to play.
Yeah. I mean, it does put some depth into the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So those are... how many did I mention? Like 3 or 4 different chainsaws. Another fun one was the inmates. So that's another one that was like felt very girl power because it was all female inmates.
Yes.
And we had the orange jailer outfits. They were the only ones at the time, I don't know if this has changed, that could take their chainsaw, and I'll demonstrate. Take their chainsaw and hold it like this, like on their shoulder. So they were the only ones that could like hold it up here. I don't really know why.
You're not allowed to do that
You're not usually allowed to do that because it does have gasoline in here. Oh. It could spill on you on your costume. It's also really heavy. These are like, this one isn't, but we do use real chainsaws. They're up to 30 pounds. You have to fill them with gasoline yourself.
I did not know that you had to do it yourself.
So the gasoline is dispersed in a little Gatorade like cooler thing where you like hit the thing down and you just put your chainsaw up to it, fill it up.
No way.
Yeah, really funny.
I hope it's labeled gasoline
and not Gatorade. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
it was.
look a Powerade. Like
yeah. And one time it did like splash in my eye. Like that's terrifying. So always like rinse thoroughly, wash your hands after you fill up your chainsaw, like rule of thumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be a little dangerous. So we're working with chemicals, we're working with heavy props. The chainsaws don't have chains on them, so they're not like, they won't cut you up, but they will, if you throw it down and it hits somebody, that could really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
So
you have to take a fitness test for a chainsaw roll, correct?
Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to remember how the fitness test went. I think it was a number of like sit-ups and push-ups.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard. I've never done a fitness test because I've literally only played the victim. When I did American Horror Story was next to, you will know the name of this house. It was the one with all of the bungees and the gargoyles. What was that called?
Oh my God.
If you guys know, please write it in the comments because we are totally blanking. I went through that house a million times.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name. All of those fellas needed fitness tests for sure because they were on the bungees. And I remember talking with them and they were like, I had to do this and that and this and that and, all that.
In the Texas Chainsaw House, we have Leatherface, who likes to hold his chainsaw like this. So like he holds it up. That's like iconic to the movie. But weirdly, they didn't get like a prop chainsaw like this that's really light.
No.
We used the same chainsaws for the people in the house.
Are you kidding me?
And now, granted, they are gutted. So all of the machinery is taken out, but it's still like 30 pounds. So he's holding 30 pounds, going like shaking it every single night. 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off, I think. So yeah, the Texas Chainsaw House, people were getting hurt every night. So that's
where a fire crew comes in,
that's
right?
Where, yep. So we did have a lot of tall guys in fire crew become Leatherface like every night. But
Yikes.
yeah, so just kind of interesting backstage lore, I guess, that would probably be good for casting, like to know that.
Right, for sure.
I think they did realize that.
Maybe it's changed now.
Hopefully.
It's been a little while
It
for
has.
us, you know?
Because my last year was HHN 28.
Okay,
Which I
we're
think
both
was-
retired.
We were tired.
Yeah, we had to. We had to hang up the spooky. What is it like? Hang up our spooky hats. I don't know.
Yeah, hang up
We're
our
still
witch.
spooky.
Yeah, we're still witches. We still have that, and I kept my chainsaw. So
Yeah, I just
metaphorically, I'll preface that.
I couldn't do. I love being a guest at Halloween Horror Nights. I just couldn't do the scaring anymore. You know, what made you realize like it's time for me to hang my chainsaw up?
That's a really good question. I think, so my final year, I was in reserves, which is similar to fire crew, except you only have to work like 5 nights or something. It might be a little different now.
I think they changed it.
Oh.
I think you have to work more now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, get that money.
Yeah.
But, so my last year, I think I was in the Insidious house or something. One last time, but I consider my last year my Cheersaw year, ending with a bang.
Yes.
And I think that, so it was a good chapter to kind of close out on. Also, chainsaws every single night killed me a little bit.
It's a very physical job.
It's very physical. Actually, the reason I did not get to do the clown saws, so the clowns with the chainsaws, which now looking back, I'm so mad. I wish I did that. That's the only horde that I did not get to be a part of.
Way.
Yeah, and it's because I did a chainsaw the night before. I think maybe it was Cindy Kane. So this was year 25, I think. Yeah. So I did a chainsaw the night before, came into casting the next day. They were like, do you want to be a clown chainsaw or do you want to be a fairy? And I was like, my arms are really tired and I haven't done fairy yet. Let me be a fairy.
Yeah.
And then I found out that it was supposed to be a clown chainsaw and I was like, dang it. And that was the only time I got cast as that. So, or I would have been cast in that. So that's the dream. But shout out to my clowns out there. Yeah, so that's when I decided like maybe I should end on this note. I'm a huge horror fan. I love horror nights. And I realized while I had so much fun, and I think, you know, I've had some of the best experiences, some of the best roles, and I honestly suggest this to everyone to do a haunt. It doesn't have to be HHN, but to experience this for once in your life. It's like, it's so much adrenaline and getting your anger out and entertaining people. But I realized, you know what, I think I'm going to, moving forward, gonna have more fun as a guest.
Yeah.
I think that I've like hit my high. I have so many memories. It's time to like retire. I will take my chainsaw with me, but retire and enjoy the houses.
Yeah.
Because I never really got a night off to go and explore. But one last role I did want to tell you about, because this was the best house role that I ever did. And this is a very unique role. This is something that I think they bring up like every few years. They won't tell you really which house they put this in, but this role is called the Shill. Okay. So my friend, Ginger Curry Cosplay, gonna give her a shout out because we were both on fire crew that year. I think it was also 25. Like that was the best year ever. But we both got cast as this, as each other's tag out. So A and B. And the Shill, we were in the Purge, but really this role could be in any house. It's really cool. I'll explain it. So in the Purge house, there was a little door we could go out of. We are dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, like an HHN t-shirt.
Stop.
This is the best. We were dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. So we look like a normal person. So we go out of this little gate. we cut the line. So this is the one role where in the house where you can really interact with guests. So we're supposed to cut the line, make up an excuse like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I lost my party. Can I get in front of you? And get in front of someone, kind of interrupt the line. So now you're in front of someone, they're walking behind you. You get to walk a little bit in the house. So you're like experiencing it. You're like, wow, this is cool. And then someone comes out, grabs you, and kills you. They like start stabbing you. So it's like a very immersive experience.
I would literally go back to scare acting just to do that role.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And it's fun if you love playing the victim because, which sounds funny, because you'd think you'd want to be a scary role, but the victim roles are so fun. So that was like one of the coolest things I ever got to do. The shirt was like off-brand Horror Nights. It was like a green shirt, yellow font, like generic Halloween Horror Nights, no year, no houses on it. I was like, I really want this shirt. It's so cool.
We should recreate it.
Yes,
for a cosplay,
we should.
Right?
The shill. So someone from the Purge, like I would interrupt the line. Someone from the Purge would grab me by the neck and start stabbing me. And the trigger is the sound of like being stabbed and someone like screaming. So you kind of mimic those movements and then they pull you back. So from the guest point of view, they're like, oh my gosh, they just took an actual guest and killed them and like kidnap them. So it really makes it feel real, and I think that was perfect for the Purge house.
Oh my god. To me, that and the Rat Lady are the two ultimate Halloween Horror Nights roles. Like, ultimate, because that's so fun.
I'm so lucky I got to do that.
Are the luckiest. I have to
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but also just a side note about that year and that house. So it was the Purge house. Maxwell Frost, who is a Florida politician now, he was in the Purge house as a scare actor. I got to talk to him. He's such a cool guy. Love him. Shout out. He was talking to me about like eating vegan, eating clean, like stuff like that. Just really, I could tell he cared about a lot of people. But I thought it was ironic that now he's a politician and he was originally in the Purge house.
That's really funny.
A very political horror movie. So yeah, a few fun stories from that. I think that kind of wraps up a lot of my favorite roles. I know I took like the whole time trying to, relive that, but
that's what this episode is all about, baby.
I have no one else to tell. They all think I'm crazy.
No, I do not think you're crazy. I think it's iconic. Everyone listening, I'm sure, is only listening because they want to know about this, right, guys? So, I mean, it's cool. It's one of those roles, or one of those jobs, rather, where not everyone gets to do something like this.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm from Michigan, so I would watch the Travel Channel, and when it would be Halloween season, they would do specials on the different haunts, and I watched the Halloween Horror Nights one every time it would come on, just like, wow, I want to go there so bad. I want to go there so bad. And I would just dream about, like, maybe I could do that one day. So this is something that, like, not everyone gets to do, especially if you don't live in Florida. Like, you might not get to come. You might be living through, walkthroughs on YouTube or, whatever. So I feel like it's great to share this information and for people to kind of know what it's like to actually do this. And you've had, like, I had 2 roles. You've done so many interesting ones. It's fascinating for me to hear about them as well. So I'm just glad you're here.
Me too.
Do you have, like, for me, I have a couple crazy stories, but nothing insane, I guess, but like a couple little kooky stories that happened. Do you have any like wild stories? Like, what's your favorite? Like the one story where you're like, this, I cannot believe this happened.
Okay, apart from just the whole Rat Lady experience, and knowing the animal actors were like pampered, that was so fun for me. But the craziest thing that happened to me when I was a Cheersaw is, and this is like a positive one. I'll tell you a positive and a negative.
Let's do positive and a negative.
Yeah, so that you can get a realistic view. It's not sunshine and rainbows every night. I'll say that. But as a Cheersaw, I had a guy come up to me and he was like, hey, can you help me propose to my girlfriend? I was like,
No
Oh
way.
my gosh, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, sure. And so he gave me the ring. I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. You're giving a random scare actor a diamond ring.
That's bold.
I'm like, okay, I'm keeping this. No. But so I had the ring. He was like, okay, I'll tell you when. So he got over to his girlfriend, and then he like beckoned me over. And so I took the ring and I got on my knee and I was like, will you marry me? Just like very like silly, like teenage girl cheerleader. And she was so confused. She's like, what the heck is going on? And then I moved out of the way and he was on his knee behind me and I gave him the ring so he could present it. And then when, you know, she was shocked, she was so happy. She said yes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
That would be a whole thing. Well, that might work for my character too, because I could just chainsaw her if she said no. But she said yes. Everyone's like jumping. They're so excited. And then actually I did start chainsawing my chainsaw and like, you know, in celebration. And then all the other cheersaws like came over and started doing theirs. And I got a boo buck for that.
We love a boo buck.
Yeah.
A boo buck is like this little cute fake money, like dollar bill thing.
Yeah.
And you can use it for like, can you use it at the grill to like get food or something? Like,
yeah.
And then you can put it in like a raffle to get like a prize or something.
Yeah, you can kind of save them up.
Yeah.
I think I kept all of mine because I'm like a keepsake person.
Yeah,
and I wanted to
scrapbook.
remember why I got them. But it said like, I think my coordinator wrote on it, she said yes. And so I still have that one.
Yeah.
It's so special.
Yeah.
But now for the negative one, and this kind of goes into the do's and don'ts, I would say,
Yes.
for guests interacting with scare actors. I will say, just to preface, this job isn't for the faint of heart. You have to go in knowing you're going to have a great time. Everything's great, but there will be dangerous interactions. People are drinking. It's dark. You might have crazy props. You're kind of running at people. So keeping that personal space is really important. They teach us to boo and skidoo. So you're scaring and then you get out of there. So you're not
literally.
you're not in like punching distance, because sometimes people's first reaction is just to punch you. And you can't really blame them. It's not malicious. It's just like a knee-jerk reaction. But this was malicious. I scared this lady with my chainsaw, just like, you know, started it. She did get scared. She was like, ah! She had a drink in her hand. I could tell she'd been drinking a lot. And this was like beginning of the night. So she must have pre-gamed or something. So she was drinking. She went, ah! And then she gave her drink to somebody, took both of her hands and like choked me out. Yeah. And she went, ah! And I was like, oh my gosh. And she like pulled my hair because I had pigtails in. So she like choked me and then went, and this was all really fast. So I was like, whoa, what happened? That's never happened to me before.
Did she get trespassed or was it just too quick?
Yeah, so I did tell my coordinator, and I hate to, you know, I don't want to get people kicked out. That's not my goal. But if she did this to me at the beginning of the night, she's going to be messing with everyone, you know, every house she goes to, every street she goes to, because she feels that emboldened to do that. So I did tell my coordinator, I think she did get kicked out that night.
Well, good.
I didn't follow up, but I did.
Yeah.
I did write a witness report on that. So do not touch the scare actors.
Yeah.
Do not touch them. I would say even if they're your friends, let them, if they want to come up to you, give you a hug or interact, let them do that. Don't set an example for other guests that they can touch you, because it's not right. It's really violating.
It's the worst. I'll start with my horrible stories. When I was in Twisted Traditions, I had someone grope me. I think
I remember you telling me that.
Yes. They grabbed my
horrible.
chest and it was another girl.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Probably around our age. She just thought she was being funny. She was like, hey. I'm like, it was like a grab and a squeeze. And I found someone immediately, but she was so quick. She was gone.
Wow.
She was gone. But the good memories are, so when I was blind as all heck, I didn't have that great of memories as Cordelia because it was very challenging. I was pretty new to the company too, and I didn't want to say like, hey, these contacts, I can't see in them. I don't want to do this, because I was worried, like, I did Mardi Gras at that time. I'm like, will that affect me at Mardi Gras? Like, will I not get cast for that? I had a couple actor auditions, like, that were still pending. I didn't get those roles, but I was like, well, I, got fit for Rogue.
Oh,
I know. They should have. Come on, Universal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
My audition, I was so nervous. I was shaking, so I understand why they did not cast me. But I was still kind of like waiting to hear back from that. So I'm like, I don't want to make any waves. I was really shy.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything till it got to be a problem. And I'm like, I can't see anything. Can we please figure out if I can just take the contacts out and scare, like, with my eyes kind of closed?
Yeah.
It had to get approved. And eventually they approved it. Once I was able to scare without those contacts, I had the time of my life. The time of my life. I didn't realize that we had, like, ops would walk through and, like, say hi to everybody before, like, the start of the shift. I didn't realize what the room looked like.
Wow.
I had no idea that, like, it was actually a pretty bright space. It wasn't dark in there because I was that shielded. Yeah. So once I could take those out, I was like, oh, wow, what a wonderful world. Funny little side note on that. There was another Cordelia, obviously, my back-to-back, and she was, I guess, by ops called the friendly one. So her contacts, she didn't have a prescription. Hers were mesh. So she could see through hers. Since mine was a prescription, I literally had to go to a eye doctor, like Universal set up an eye doctor appointment for me.
Wow.
So I could get fit for lenses. And then my lenses were fog lenses. That's why I couldn't see. They were not mesh. Right.
Ooh, that's
So
interesting.
blinded. Yeah. So bad. And I couldn't see ops when they would walk by me. Like, I literally couldn't see them. So I didn't wave to anybody ever. I never said hi to anybody. Didn't know they were there. I didn't know they were there. Like,
so you were like the bitchy Cordelia to them.
The diva one. They were like, oh, that one never says hi to us. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know you existed because I can't see you.
Wow. So, method acting, really.
Yeah. No, really. I can't believe I did that. And I can't believe, like, now being who I am and more grown and more outspoken, I can't believe I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I say something,
Yeah.
But I was scared. I wanted to keep my job. And I just feel like my whole experience, once I could see, is the good story for that.
Yes. I'm sure it made the role much more fun, too, because you can see people's reactions.
I never knew. I would just hear people go, I never knew what, if people were running, if I made people, like, run through the rest of the house because they were so scared. I couldn't tell. But once I could scare it, I didn't have my contacts in, I could actually see people go, and, like, go running. That was a joy for me. That was so fun. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I liked, sometimes, this is another good thing. Sometimes I would come out and I would scream and they'd be like, oh, she looks like Sarah Paulson. And I was like,
oh my God, I can so see that. Yeah.
The cry face.
That is so good.
Yes. Like, big mouth.
I can see why you were cast.
But that was like just the good stuff about that one. Like, once I could actually see, I felt like I was a part of the team. And before that, I felt like I wasn't really a part of the team. Like, I didn't know what was happening. And then on the street, when I was in Twisted Tradition. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
It is.
The pumpkins were the coolest. They were like the creatures in that area. So it was
were
like,
they on stilts or were they on the ground?
We had, I believe, a couple on stilts, if I'm remembering correctly. It was so long ago, but the ones on the ground, it was so fun because there was 4 high school students and our car broke down. Oh no.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and
so Evil Dead coded.
It was so good. And so it was the, like, typical characters. There's the nerdy guy, the nerdy girl, the jock, and the, like, bimbo kind of girl. And we had the most fun together. Like when we would all interact, like, Chad, come on. Like it just, we would.
Mindy, is that, that
yeah,
was your
Mindy.
And so you were the nerd, but you
Right.
were like the virgin.
Yeah.
So you survived.
Yeah. But one of the performers, he pulled me around with his scythe around my neck, and people were so scared because I was literally letting this guy like pull me around like with this scythe on my neck, and I was
Oh
like,
my God.
you know, like just living it up. And
Love
the
that.
reaction from people when you are just getting tortured like that,
Yeah.
people get really scared because they're just expecting people to be like, oh, I'm scared, help me. I was like,
Yeah.
help me. And then this guy would grab
And they
me,
actually do it.
thing around the neck, and I'm like, I'd be reaching for people, and like that was fun.
Yeah. No
It
wonder
was
your
fun.
voice was out too, like from screaming and.
I went too hard.
Yeah.
I'm a 100% kind of girl.
You were
and
so good at that role.
Thank you. But it was, for me, like I could have just hid behind something and been like, help. It's not in my spirit, man.
Yeah. And that's what's fun about the streets too. You can kind of improvise and do whatever level of scaring that you want. Some people kind of do the eerie stalker thing where they just kind of walk around and look scary, which is effective. Some people are really in your face aggressive. That was me a little bit. So sometimes people would get mad at me because I would be like guests, because I would actually scare them, or I would like, you know, kind of get in their face and then get out of the way. But your role reminds me of a victim role that was in the Purge street. So when the Purge was first introduced, can't remember what year that was. Probably like 24.
The Purge, I feel like, is just like always at
It's
Halloween.
eternal.
It's just
Purge forever.
Purge
Isn't
forever.
that one of the movies? So there was a victim role where I was wearing like some kind of dress or something. It looked normal and my hair was normal. I didn't really have blood on me that you could see, but you can always tell if it's a scare actor if they have non-slip black comfortable orthopedic shoes. Okay, so I was wearing those, but I was kind of hiding, like, you know, so the Purgers wouldn't get me. But there was like a kind of a show, because this was New York Street. That's the biggest street. And they had a school bus and they had like a tiny stage on top of the school bus.
that was a sick area. Was that?
Yeah.
I think that was 28. Was it 28 or 27?
I know
28?
they had Purge a couple times. I think for me, this was like earlier on. So I want to say 24.
Oh, maybe
but
it
I could
was-
be wrong.
Because maybe, did they do that bit a few times where there was the stage and like the bus?
Yeah.
Okay. I only saw it once and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, and they had like motorcyclists. So it was so cool. So one of the motorcyclists, like whenever there was a sound cue, they would pull me up. I'd have to climb stairs or like a ladder to get on top of the school bus, which was kind of scary.
Yeah, kind of. Huh?
And then he's just holding me, and they're they have like the announcer lady. I think her name was the auctioneer. And something kind of funny is they had the same role in Universal Hollywood, but there she was allowed to do a little bit more. So she was kind of cursing a little bit and like being a little bit more naughty at Hollywood. But here she was just like the movie, like very poised, like trying to sacrifice these victims on Purge night. And it's just so fun to play a victim.
That's
like
so
you wouldn't
funny.
think it, but it is.
really is. It really is. Now, I never got to be anyone scary, which is a shame.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
is.
gosh.
But that's okay. Maybe
Your face looked kind of scary as Cordelia, because it was like acid, right?
was,
That made her
yes.
blind. Yeah.
they had to put this like goo on my face every afternoon when I would come in. It was like this disgusting feeling goo, and I would break
Yeah.
out.
Oh
So,
gosh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the HHN acne, it's so real.
It's so real. I think that brings us to the next section. I
okay.
think, let me look at the time. Yeah. So we're going to be wrapping up this episode
Okay.
pretty soon.
Okay.
But since we've talked all about scare acting,
Mm-hmm.
let's give some tips for scare actors, people who want to be scare actors. Maybe that's why you're here listening to this episode.
Ooh,
Some
yay, do it.
do's and don'ts. Yeah. I feel like the first do is just do it.
Do it. Be brave. Even if you think, oh, I'm not fit for that. I think everybody has a place. Like they will find a place for you. And especially if they like you a lot, like for you, they gave you contacts even though like you needed prescription, you had to go to an eye doctor. Like they will jump through hoops for you if they really
Right.
like you for that role. It's not just IP, like the intellectual property where you have to match what an actor looks like. Sometimes there's original characters that when you walk in there, they're like, oh, that character needs to look like that person. And so just do it. Be brave.
Yep. Be brave. Just do it. I went and I auditioned when I was like 18, didn't get it. And then, you know, like in my later 20s, ended up getting 2 different roles for 2 different years. So like if you audition, maybe, and you don't get it, maybe like you just are not the right height they're looking for, because that's what it comes down to. Try again.
Yeah.
You know?
Next year it'll be totally different.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if the audition process has changed because it's been a little while, but I remember they used to ask us like, they used to just ask a question. Like they were like, we're going to know like if we're casting you based on your height, based on your look. You know, it doesn't really matter what you answer to the question, but sometimes they would ask like, what's your favorite house? What's your favorite street? What's your favorite role? And especially for what they call the veteran auditions from when you did it previous years and then you come back for the internal auditions. They were very like minimal, kind of low effort because they just know. Sometimes they know right when you walk in the room and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, what's funny, I think, about auditions is if you end up getting a late time slot in one of the last auditions, casting, you can tell, is so bored with saying, what's your favorite scary movie? They'll be like, tell us what your favorite food is. Like, I swear, I've heard them be like, well, you know, just ask like random stuff, you know? If I was on the casting team, I'd get pretty bored too. So,
you can choose crazy answers if you want, maybe liven it up. Sometimes they do pull certain people aside and ask them if they're willing to shave their head. That always,
I would never.
Always shocked me. Yeah, me either. I was like, please don't pull me. Please don't pull me. But they usually want taller people for that, I would say.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people that I know who are around my height, 5'4", if you're 5'4" and you want to roll, they might be asking you, hey, shave your head. Yeah. They never asked me. I did shave my head once. I had a full Britney, but it wasn't.
And you were like Nosferatu vibes.
Yes, I did a Nosferatu photo shoot, but I wasn't a scare actor then. That was actually before I got cast, and by the time I got cast, my hair already grew back, and it was such an effort that I was like, if they ask me to shave my freaking head, I absolutely will not. But do be prepared to shave your head.
And it is your choice. Like, you don't have to shave your head for minimum wage where you're working until like 3 a.m. every night and have to shave every day throughout the run. Yeah. But if you're super into the role, there's no shame in it, you know? So it's your choice though. Just know that.
Yeah. And for my dues, I would say once you get cast, definitely if you are wearing your own shoes, don't get $10 shoes from Walmart. Like, don't do that. Get nice, comfortable shoes because you're going to be on your feet and the shifts are long. You're going to be tired. And if your feet hurt, you're going to get so cranky. If you're in a house, repetitive motion is going to be your life. You're just going to be doing the same move over and over and over. When I was Cordelia, I feel like I gained muscle on one leg because I was constantly lunging. I had to end up switching legs because I was like, one butt cheek's going to be so much bigger than the other butt cheek. You know what I mean?
The chainsaws, you can't really switch it up unless you are ambidextrous, so you will gain more muscle. Right. I did in my right hand. They don't really make left-handed chainsaws, I've noticed. Huh. Yeah. Huh. So the lefties kind of had to make it work.
Are you a lefty?
No.
Okay. Wow. Sucks for the lefties, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who get these roles, I mean, it's at a wide age range. There's people in their 50s and 60s. There's people, you know, who are just 18. There's a wide age range. When you're younger, you don't listen to your superiors when they say hydrate. You don't. Hydrate though.
You need
hydrate.
You
hydrate.
Will pass out if you don't hydrate. And this kind of thing, even though like there is repetitive motions that happen, it is a whole body type of workout. It feels like, because you're done at like, let's say you clock in at like 6 or so, maybe even earlier, and then you end at like 2 or 3 a.m. and you're just on your feet moving the whole time. So like you said, invest in comfy shoes that really work, and hydrate, and even stretch too. That's very important.
Yeah. Take care of your body, because you're doing stuff that you do not normally do in any other job, even if you are a performer. Because I have a performance background, you have a performance background. This is not a regular job. You're using your whole body. And even if you're not using your voice and you have a trigger, you're still like using those muscles to like fake scream. You know what I mean? Like you might not actually have anything coming out of your mouth, but you're still opening it and closing it. So like you got to stretch. Take care of yourself. I wish I took care of myself more. I ended up like, you know, it was a lot of late night Taco Bells and like post-work beers. You know what I mean? Like, cause I mean,
Same.
I'm sober now, but like I was definitely like a drinker when I did it. And so you don't want to be doing that job hungover.
No way. Oh my gosh. I would not be able to do that. Also, like people that had like full-time jobs or like a 9 to 5 and doing HHN, more power to you. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to. Some people can really power through, but that is a lot. So just kind of know what you're signing up for. Long hours. It's a very long run. It used to be like just 3 weeks of Hell Week. Now every single month every week, I think, is a Hell Week. Which means the event runs from like Wednesday all the way to Sunday. So you get 2 days off, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. And you got to take care of yourself those days. And if you are working your regular job those days, you still need to make the time to, like, if you can't get a massage, get like a massage gun or something, foam roll. Take care of yourself. I wish I would have taken better care of myself. I was coming in with KT tape all over my knees and, you know, like, and pack food for yourself, because you don't want to live off of the cafeteria chicken nuggets. Also, sometimes depending on where you're at, you can't easily get to a cafeteria unless you put on like a cloak, you know?
Yes, that's one of my favorite things. It's like really funny. It's like when you're wearing it, it's not the best thing, but when you see it, like tell me if you spot it next time. But if you see a character in a cloak, like they look like a Dementor, like they're all, you can't see anything but the cloak and the non-slip shoes. That is a scare actor going on break to get lunch. Or dinner or whatever. Because,
like, am I right? Bring food for yourself, like at least some protein bars, some snacks,
definitely.
because first of all, you're not making that much money. So you don't want to spend your paycheck at the mediocre cafeteria. Like, no shade, but it's cafeteria food, you know?
Yeah.
Especially late at night. And then I don't think it's open your whole shift either, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's certain hours. I don't think it's open as like for the last part of your shift at least.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to get food on your way out. So yeah, pack like hydrating foods, fruits, like things that fuel you, protein bars. I used to pack like the espresso cans of Starbucks coffee because like coffee brings me to life. So I had to pack that every time.
Yeah, I was unfortunately such an energy drink girl. And then a vending machine Lay's potato chip girl as well. Yeah.
It's a good combo.
But it's not the healthiest. So, you know, but if that's all that you can do, you know, because you forgot food, go get those Lay's potato chips, you know. It's the salt, you know, replenish your sodium level.
Hey, that works. Yeah.
For our don'ts, do you have anything that's like, hey, listen to the rules. Listen to the rules. If you are wanting to do this as a job, you remember you're at work. You're at work.
Yes.
You know,
you're still at work, even though it's a fun job.
Yeah. Don't be late to your lineup. You know, you switch out. So cast A and cast B switches, and they need you lined up in costume at a certain time. If you're supposed to be in that line at a certain time, get in that line. You know?
Yeah, because guess what? Your partner has to do more work. If you're not there on time, now they have to stay on set extra time, and now it cuts into their break.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of rude to your counterpart.
Yeah, it might be a cool, unique experience and a cool job, but like at the end of the day, it's still a job.
Exactly.
Still a job.
And
what do you got?
On that note, I would say casting directors, if they come up to you and they tell you about the role and the intentions and stuff like that, stick to that. You can always like improvise. You can always add some flourishes, some flair, create your own character. But if you do something completely opposite from what they say, that's going to anger them. You're not going to get cast next year
Right.
because they do remember that stuff. So I remember, I think it was, what was it? Vamp 55, that street, which I love that street. It's
Iconic.
beautiful. I actually never was in that street, which I
Same.
was, but it's beautiful to look at. But I remember, I think it may have been some of the victim type roles. They made it very clear, like, you are a victim, your makeup is running, you're crying, you're sad, you're not a vampire, right? I remember some people, because that was a heavily photographed street, so I remember some people, you know, they were really excited by that. They loved getting the pictures. Like, you know, it's normal to be excited about that.
Yeah.
But some people that were in, I think, the victim role were starting to smile, starting to, like, you know, look happy in their pictures or look evil or look, but it's like, that's not your character.
You gotta cry.
Unless your casting director made an exception and said, okay, you are about to turn. Like, they just bit you, you're turning. Like, that's really fun to play because now you're crying and then towards the end, you're evil. But saw some people just, like, straight up, like, smile for the camera. And it just doesn't really make sense.
No, that doesn't work. Yeah. So listen, I mean, and like, okay, for my role when I was the virgin, I was like a nerdy girl. I wouldn't be like, hey baby, you know, I wouldn't be flirtatious. Like, I wouldn't be necessarily really bold in my speech. Like, I was more of like a shy character, you know, more analytical. I wasn't going to be hitting on the pumpkins or something. Like, don't be weird. Don't be weird.
I remember my first year, HHN 23. It was the year Walking Dead took over. It was everywhere. But honestly, I'm so glad that was my first year because then it just kept getting better and better.
Yeah.
But I do remember, so Walking Dead is an IP. They have very specific zombie types and movements and sounds. And there was one guy who, you know, he's very excited, but he wanted to try something new. So he kept making this noise that's like, like not really the Walking Dead type of zombie noises. Like, he just, like, he almost sounded like a bird.
No.
Or it was very strange. And casting did speak to him and said, hey, there are very strict rules on this. You have to follow, you know, the rules, like, or our direction. And he kept doing it. He kept doing his own thing. And I don't think I saw him finish the run. So
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe they moved him to a spot where he like had it was just like a
Yeah.
like one of those boo hole jump scare. Like, that's all you have. It's
Yes.
just and back. You know, because maybe they're like, we can't give him any freedom.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
he's
know.
Not
Or they
taking
just
direction.
fired him. I don't know.
Maybe.
We had a jock. I don't remember his name and I wouldn't say it either. I'm not going to out somebody for being horrible. They just like, okay, in my street, the jock was like the leader, like, hey, everybody, kind of like Fred and Scooby-Doo, you know, come on, gang, like,
let's
that kind
up.
of, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how most of the guys played him.
Yeah.
And this guy was just running around. I think he wanted to be scary so bad. He was just like, like trying to scare people and making more like of a in people's faces. Like, bro, you're supposed to be playing a character right now. You're not supposed to just go boo in people's faces. Like, that's not your role, man.
Yeah.
It was frustrating. So that is frustrating. And don't do that. If you want to be a scare actor, don't do that. Our audition's over. I think they're over. So
I think they are. I will say, though, if you get a rejection, you know, don't put your life on pause. Don't give up either, because they could cast you like midway through the run. People drop out of this event all the time because it's a lot of stamina, a lot of kind of negative guest interactions sometimes. You know, it really pushes boundaries, this event. So a lot of people drop out. A lot of people can't handle it, which is fair. So, you know, if you at least submit.
Yeah. And next year, like, if you see it come up next year, just audition for sure.
Yeah.
We chatted a lot about performing, we've been babbling quite a bit, so we want to make sure we give the guests something here too, and talk about a hot tip for the guests. So my hot tip is, if you're only going for one night, get there early so you can see the opening moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's like where they have scare actors from different sections all come up, and they do this like opening moment where it's, I don't know, I never got to be a part of it, but I watched it a couple times, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just like really cool. It's a cool way to kick it off, and there's chainsaws, and it gets everyone like, yay, and everyone cheers, and and then they all disperse and go to their respected areas. But you get to see, that's the only time you're going to get to see characters from each scare zone all in the same spot, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and it's such a cool way to like open the event and open the gates, and it kind of gives the actors motivation for why people are entering, you know, how to approach them. You see, it's so exciting. I got to do it my very first year when I was a zombie for Walking Dead. I was cast in the opening moment part. So I got to do that every night that year. That was so cool.
I love that.
And it's so exciting to see how excited the guests are. They're excited, they're scared. There's some people that are like, they have a plan in action, they're going to run to the back, or there's people that are like cowering. So as an actor, that's such a fun moment, and as a guest.
Yes.
So that is such a great tip. I love that.
Sweet.
I have two. Okay. This is one that I think a lot of people know, so it's not that much of a hot tip, but maybe if you don't know, this will be. I would say if you get there early, start at the back of the park.
Oh, yeah.
So to avoid lines, because people are going to crowd like the front houses. They're going to run to the first house and then do a circle, because Universal is built in a circle. So go to the very back houses and then work your way to the front. So that's my tip. And then another tip I have is this was, I think, Walking Dead, it was the year of the selfie. Like that was the first year that word was so popular. So it was very annoying. Everyone was like, selfie, 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 selfie. They don't allow you to bring selfie sticks because, you know, it could hurt people. It's kind of crowded. So if you want a selfie with someone, do not even ask, because they're monsters. They're not, or likely villains or something. They're not going to respond to that. Instead, this is what I do. I just like hold my phone up and, you know, try not to hit anybody. But if you just hold it up, actors are going to try and get in the background of it.
For sure. That's a good one.
I have really cute pictures from the Trick or Treat Street, which is one of my favorite horror movies ever, because I love Sam. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
So cute. So instead of being like, Sam, can I have a selfie? Because I'm sure those actors were getting that all night. That's such an iconic character. You know, everyone's attacking them, and that's a small person. So it's like, you know, you don't want to be aggressive like that. So anyways, I just held my phone up, making sure I'm not hitting anybody. And I got the cutest series of pictures where I have Sam like going like this. And then in the next picture, he had the little lollipop like this. So it's really funny to see like that progression.
That's the cutest. All right. Well, that is all the time that we have for today's episode. We could probably make this like a 3-hour episode. Yes. So we'll be yapping about this again soon. Thank you for coming on and chatting.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. This is the best topic ever. I love HHN. I hope everyone watching got something out of this and enjoys the event this year.
Yes. Now you know a little bit about what the scare actors go through, and you can be extra respectful, right?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Follow Chainsaw Pinup on everything. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Bad Witch Babbles. If you enjoyed this episode, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll have new videos every other Friday. See you soon.